Is this the most emotional moment in Chinese entertainment history? Or is there something deeper happening behind the scenes? The entertainment world was absolutely stunned when Su Kai made an unexpected appearance at Tan Songyun's latest press conference, causing the normally composed actress to tear up in front of hundreds of media personnel and fans. The shocking moment, captured by dozens of cameras and instantly going viral across all social media platforms, has sparked intense speculation about the nature of their relationship and what could possibly make one of China's strongest actresses break down so publicly. Could this be a carefully orchestrated publicity stunt? Or are we witnessing something genuinely profound and emotional between two of the industry's biggest stars? Why would Su Kai risk everything to show up unannounced at Tan Songyun's most important career moment? The press conference, held at the prestigious Grand Hyatt Beijing, was supposed to be Tan Songyun's solo spotlight, as she announced her latest drama project and endorsement deals worth millions of yuan. Industry insiders had been buzzing for weeks about this event, which was positioned as Tan Songyun's major career milestone and her moment to shine independently. But when Su Kai walked through those doors, everything changed. The atmosphere shifted from professional and calculated to raw, emotional, and utterly unpredictable. Reporters who had prepared questions about her new projects suddenly found themselves witnessing something far more compelling than any scripted announcement. What secret connection between these two stars has finally been revealed to the public? For months, fans have speculated about the chemistry between Su Kai and Tan Songyun, pointing to subtle interactions at award shows, cryptic social media posts, and industry rumors that neither star would confirm or deny. But nothing could have prepared anyone for the emotional explosion that occurred when Su Kai stepped onto that stage. Tan Songyun's eyes immediately welled up with tears, her carefully maintained composure crumbling in seconds, as she tried desperately to maintain her professional demeanor, while clearly overwhelmed by emotions. The question burning in everyone's mind: what is the real story behind this relationship that could provoke such a powerful public reaction? The morning of the press conference started like any major industry event in Beijing. Hundreds of journalists, entertainment reporters, photographers, and fan representatives began gathering at the luxurious venue hours before the scheduled start time. Security was tight, with multiple checkpoints and credential verification processes ensuring that only authorized personnel could enter. The buzz in the air was palpable as everyone anticipated Tan Songyun's big announcements. Her management team had been teasing major career news for weeks, and expectations were sky-high for what she would reveal. Tan Songyun arrived punctually, looking absolutely stunning in an elegant white designer dress that perfectly showcased her delicate beauty and sophisticated style. Her hair was styled in soft waves, her makeup was flawless, and she carried herself with the grace and confidence of a seasoned professional who had done hundreds of these events before. As she took her seat at the main table, flanked by her management team and representatives from her new projects, everything seemed perfectly orchestrated and under control. The press conference was scheduled to last 90 minutes, with prepared remarks, video presentations, and a structured question and answer session. The first 30 minutes proceeded exactly as planned. Tan Songyun spoke eloquently about her new drama series, a high-budget historical romance where she plays a complex female lead character. She discussed her preparation for the role, the talented cast and crew she would be working with, and her excitement about bringing this story to audiences. Her words were measured, professional, and engaging. Photographers snapped countless pictures as she smiled gracefully, answering questions with practiced ease. The presentation of her new endorsement deals followed, with brand representatives praising her professionalism and market appeal. But then something unexpected happened. About 45 minutes into the press conference, just as Tan Songyun was preparing to discuss her upcoming film projects, there was a sudden commotion at the back of the conference hall. Security personnel were seen speaking urgently into their radios, and journalists near the entrance began turning their cameras away from Tan Songyun toward the doors. The murmur in the room grew louder, and even Tan Songyun paused mid-sentence, looking confused about what was causing the disturbance. Then the doors opened and Su Kai walked in. The reaction was instantaneous and electric. Gasps echoed throughout the hall, cameras immediately swung toward the entrance, and dozens of flashes went off simultaneously. Su Kai, dressed impeccably in a dark tailored suit that emphasized his tall, commanding presence, strode confidently into the room with a large bouquet of white roses in his hands. His expression was serious and determined, showing none of his usual playful charm. This was a man on a mission, and everyone in that room immediately understood they were witnessing something extraordinary. The moment Tan Songyun saw Su Kai, her entire demeanor changed. Her professional smile faltered, her eyes widened in complete shock, and her hand involuntarily moved to her mouth in a gesture of surprise. For several seconds she seemed frozen, unable to process what she was seeing. The carefully maintained composure she had displayed throughout the event crumbled instantly. Her eyes began to glisten with tears, and despite her obvious efforts to maintain control, emotion overwhelmed her practiced professionalism. Soo-kai walked steadily toward the stage, ignoring the dozens of cameras tracking his every movement and the reporters shouting questions at him. His focus was entirely on Tan Songyun, as if they were the only two people in the room. The intensity of his gaze and the determination in his stride created an atmosphere of such emotional weight that even the most jaded entertainment reporters found themselves caught up in the moment. This was not a typical celebrity appearance or publicity stunt. Something real and profound was happening as Soo-kai reached the stage. Tan Songyun's eyes were now clearly filled with tears. She blinked rapidly, trying to prevent them from falling, but her efforts were failing. One tear escaped, rolling down her cheek, and then another. Her lips trembled as she attempted to speak, but no words came out. The vulnerability displayed by an actress known for her strength and professionalism was startling and deeply moving. Hundreds of people in that room watched transfixed as one of China's most beloved actresses struggled to contain her emotions. Soo-kai climbed onto the stage and walked directly to Tan Songyun. He extended the bouquet of roses toward her with both hands, a gesture that was simultaneously simple and incredibly meaningful. The white roses, symbols of purity, respect, and deep admiration, seemed carefully chosen rather than randomly selected. As Tan Songyun reached out to accept the flowers, her hands were visibly shaking. The moment their fingers touched as the bouquet changed hands, more tears spilled from her eyes, and she looked away briefly, clearly trying to compose herself, but Soo-kai wasn't finished. Instead of leaving the stage or stepping back, he moved closer to Tan Songyun and began speaking to her in a voice low enough that the microphones barely picked up his words. Only those closest to the stage could hear fragments of what he was saying, but body language experts who later analyzed the video footage noted the intensity and sincerity of his posture and expressions. His words, whatever they were, clearly affected Tan Songyun deeply. She nodded several times, tears now flowing freely down her face despite her attempts to wipe them away discreetly. The entire conference hall had fallen into complete silence. Reporters who moments before had been shouting questions and jockeying for better positions, now stood perfectly still, not wanting to disturb the intimate moment unfolding before them. Cameras continued recording, but even the photographers seemed to handle their equipment more quietly, as if afraid to break the spell. The emotional intensity in the room was overwhelming, with many attendees later admitting they felt like intruders witnessing something deeply personal. After what felt like an eternity but was actually only about 2 minutes, Soo-kai finally stepped back. He gave Tan Songyun a small, encouraging nod and what appeared to be a supportive smile. Then, in a move that shocked everyone again, he took the microphone that had been handed to him by a staff member and addressed the crowd directly. His voice was steady but carried unmistakable emotion as he explained his presence at the event. Soo-kai's words were carefully chosen but clearly heartfelt. He stated that he came because he wanted to publicly support Tan Songyun during one of the most important moments of her career. He spoke about her dedication, professionalism, and incredible talent that deserved recognition and celebration. He mentioned that as someone who understood the pressures and challenges of the entertainment industry, he felt it was important to show solidarity and support for fellow artists, especially during significant career milestones. His speech, lasting approximately 5 minutes, was articulate and moving, explaining his actions without revealing too many personal details. What made his appearance even more significant was the context that industry insiders understood but the general public might not immediately grasp. Soo-kai had been in the middle of filming his own drama series in a different province, a demanding production schedule that typically doesn't allow for unplanned absences. For him to take time away from his own professional obligations, travel hundreds of kilometers, and arrive at this press conference showed a level of dedication and prioritization that spoke volumes about the importance of his relationship with Tan Songyun. Whatever the nature of that relationship might be, as Soo-kai spoke, Tan Songyun gradually regained some of her composure, though her eyes remained red and tears continued to occasionally escape despite her best efforts. She listened to his words with an expression that mixed gratitude, affection, and continued emotional overwhelm. When he finished speaking and looked toward her, she managed a genuine smile through her tears and nodded in acknowledgement. The silent communication between them was profound and visible to everyone present,